I want you to pay attention to this real quick because this isn't just about what happened, right? It's about what almost went wrong. And most people still don't even realize how close this actually was, y'all. Watch this.
Of their strength. If I didn't terminate the Barack Hussein Obama Iran nuclear deal, they would have had don't forget, that was a path to a nuclear weapon. Remember this. He chose Iran over Israel, pure and simple. How Israel can vote for a Democrat is if you're Jewish in New York City or any place else in this country, and how you can vote for a Democrat is unbelievable because he chose Iran, a very hostile Iran. Remember when he filled up a 757 with cash, billions of dollars of cash, and he sent it over to them. Then they gave them tens of billions of dollars. He chose Iran over Israel. And really the Arab world, if you look, because, the other, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, I mean, you take a look. I mean, I can add Kuwait and I can add Bahrain, and you can add others. He chose such an unlikely candidate. Nobody could believe it. Frankly, if you're going to choose between Iraq and Iran, he should have befriended Iraq. He went in the exact opposite direction of all thinking. And he made a terrible mistake. But that was a road to a nuclear weapon. And when I terminated that, everyone said, oh, he terminated it. It was one of the best things we ever did because he had a road to a nuclear weapon. And it was a very short-term deal. Countries don't do 10-year deals. Countries do hundreds of years. You don't do a 10-year deal. For a country, you're a landlord and you're renting a store on a certain street, and you give somebody a 5-year or 10-year lease. This is a country. It was a short-term deal. It was ready to expire. I terminated it before it expired. Took a lot of heat, and it was one of the best things I ever did because he would have had a nuclear weapon. Then he would have had another nuclear weapon, had those beautiful B-2 bombers not gone in 8 months ago, and obliterated that site. And by the way, the word is obliteration. CNN said, well, maybe it wasn't complete. It was so complete that they still haven't been able to get it. It was obliteration. But if we didn't hit them, that was a courageous decision, too, because we had all those planes flying in at night with very little cover, unbelievable stealth planes, and they were able to do their job. If we didn't do that, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon at a high level, either one of those two.
Yeah. This right here, this is one of those moments where something small turns into something way bigger than people expected. Because leaking information isn't just news in a situation like this at all. You're not reporting after the fact. You're putting something out while it's still happening. Excuse me, trying to get myself together. And the second that hits the wrong odds, man, everything changes. Now, listen to what he's saying real quick.
Hey, nah, man, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Y'all gotta give it, you gotta give it to the president. Now, I know y'all gonna fade. We shouldn't have been over there in the first place. We don't give a fuck they was rescued. Y'all gonna find a reason not to get a man his props. But that man rescued them, man. And literally that man, I don't know, bro, that was a Hunger Games situation, bro. The whole place was looking for him. The civilians and everything, they put a 70,000 bounty on this man's head to find him alive. People, regular citizens on feet in the mountains looking for him. Bro, the man survived Hunger Games. They was after him. Dude, y'all don't get it. An entire army, an entire crew of and civilians. Easily probably 100-something thousand motherfuckers looking for one man. And we got him out, y'all. That was some Hunger Games shit. This nigga got away, bro. Bro, y'all gotta give it to that man. Stop hating, man.
Yeah. Now, here's where it's uncomfortable for, the anti-Trumpers, right? He's not saying anything complicated. Like, anything. Like, so much so that it's not much for me to layer here. He's saying, if something works, say it worked. That's it. But people don't like doing that when it doesn't match what they already decided to believe. So instead, they look for a way around it. Anything but, just calling it straight, right? Anything. I mean, anything. Now, this right here, this is where it stops being a conversation.
As you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour. Then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. And talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it, and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. And we know who, and you know who we're talking about, because some things you can't do. Because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land that was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award.
Sorry for the volume on that one. I tried to turn it up, but I was having some complications. However, remember when I said this right here is where it stops being a conversation? I said that because once you hear there was someone missing, they found out because of a leak. There's no bounty on him. That's not politics anymore, man. That's consequences. And if you're the one responsible for that, let me just say there's no soft way to deal with it. Not even a little bit. This is why you're seeing reactions just like this one.
This man Donnie is one of the funniest people. Not only did he say, open the fucking straight, my boy said, praise be to Allah. They just did a strike that took out 50 of the top whoever they think they is, and my boy saying praise be to Allah. You can't tell me this nigga isn't hilarious, G. And I know so many of you are so disappointed that so many of us have common sense and we agree that Iran sucks. I don't understand what's wrong with so many of you people. So many presidents before this man has said Iran is the biggest threat. Iran been screaming death to America for 47 years, and now 47 is here and we've been putting bombs on beards. Do you hear me? And now people in America who don't know nothing about nothing, they're just suffering from TDS. And since you are suffering from TDS, and we know you are, we just ignore you. Because think about it. If you're on the same side as these people, do you honestly think...
I wanted to hear what he had to say after that. Yeah, man, like I said, this is exactly why you see these type of, videos pop up. Because for a lot of people, this is what leadership looks like. Clear, direct, no guessing where things started. Or stand, rather. Clear, I'm just saying, like, just clarity. You might not like how it sounds, but you definitely understand it, right? And while all this is happening, this is the part nobody can ignore.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. We start with breaking news. The head of the IRGC intelligence operation, Major General Majid Kadimi, has been killed. According to a senior Israeli official, a joint U.S. and Israeli strike overnight took out the man who was considered effectively the number 2 within the IRGC. He's one of the few senior commanders, I'm told, who managed to survive multiple waves of Israeli and American targeting over the past year. He oversaw intelligence operations that directly targeted U.S. forces and allies across the region. This comes as we are continuing to track developments and the possibility of a ceasefire deal between the United States and Iran. Yesterday, I spoke with President Trump, and he said if a deal does not happen this week, quote, you're going to see bridges and power plants dropping all over their country. If they don't make a deal and fast, I'm considering blowing everything up and taking over the oil. Now, a new report today in Reuters says a framework to end hostilities has been put together by Pakistan and exchanged with Iran and the U.S. overnight, outlining a two-tier approach with an immediate ceasefire followed by a comprehensive agreement. Despite these diplomatic conversations, U.S. and Israeli planes continue to hammer the Iranian regime as we are gathering new details about that daring rescue operation over the weekend that led that U.S. crew member to being rescued. Hundreds of U.S. Special Forces on the ground in southwestern Iran. You can see the province here where they were located. It was an hours-long operation, but again, ultimately it was successful as a result of U.S. military and intelligence excellence. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said overnight, I spoke earlier with President Trump and personally congratulated him on his bold decision and a perfectly executed American mission to rescue the downed pilot from enemy territory. The president expressed his appreciation for Israel's help. I am deeply proud that our cooperation on and off the battlefield is unprecedented and that Israel could contribute to saving a brave American warrior. As this is taking place, the Iranians are continuing their ballistic missile attacks against Israel. A number of ballistic missiles were launched overnight towards central Israel. You can see aftermath video here in the northern part of the country. This is the city of Haifa. And at this scene of a direct impact from a ballistic missile, there are still 2 people missing. 2 were killed in this strike, and 2 again are believed to be buried under the rubble. So a lot of kinetic activity across the region, and the United States is preparing for the possibility, if a deal is not reached, that there will be significant escalation here in the region, and President Trump has promised to target Iranian power and energy infrastructure.
Yeah.
Guys?
All of this always an option on the table. But Trey, the breaking news that you just reported about this high-ranking Iranian official that was killed in the joint U.S.-Israeli airstrike, how could his death impact these potential negotiations to end this war that are ongoing right now?
Yeah, so Major General Majid Kadhimi was the man responsible for building the intelligence behind the current Iranian operations that are targeting U.S. forces and allies across the region. This includes Gulf countries. And so the fact that he was taken out, he is considered to be the number 2 person in the IRGC right now. And I'm told that there was actually another official taken out as well in that same strike. And that official is the commander of the Quds Forces Special Operations Unit, Ashgar Bakiri. And again, this gives you a sense of how the Israelis and the Americans are working together with their intelligence agencies to try and target individuals within the IRGC who are responsible for the ongoing attacks, again, to put pressure on the Iranian regime so that they come to the negotiating table and make a good faith deal.
You just wonder how many more of these individuals need to be killed before Iran realizes that these people.
Told you, this is the part that you cannot ignore. High-level targets are gone. Not small players and not random names. People all the way at the tippity top. So when you put it all together, information leaking, decisions being made, actions actually happening, this isn't just talk. How do I say? At some point, everything stopped being opinions and it becomes results. And I'm going to tell you this, man, results do not care how people feel about them at all. Not even a little bit. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to write results matter. So I know that you locked in. Y'all be safe. Go check with somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace. It took me, y'all saying I was over struggling trying to get to this button. Peace.